Hey y'all. So sorry about the wind. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but so I've been making a bunch of slings lately, and here the last couple days I've made some braided slings. It's a little bit different than the ones that I made before. These took a little bit more time and effort, but I think they turned out pretty darn cool. Anyway, here's an assortment of them. I made 3 of them so far. This one's got like a whip end on it. It's pretty neat. Haven't really got to try it out full scale. I was out here yesterday slinging with this one, and it's awesome. It's really good. And then last night I took some jute twine and made this one. It looks pretty old school, pretty rugged. Anyway, I grabbed an assortment of rocks off this little driveway here at the river, and I'm gonna chunk some rocks for y'all, see how these slings perform. Anyway, I don't know if you'll be able to see the rocks fly or not. I hope you can. I'm gonna go down away from the camera a little bit so you can see the action of the sling. Anyway, here it goes. I'm gonna do this one first since it's the first sling that I made. Now, all these kind of function a little bit differently. You got to hold them different ways, but for the most part, they're all split pouch slings, and it works by momentum and the weight of the rock. So you got to have a pretty hefty rock to safely throw out of these things. So I picked up a few pretty big rocks. I'm glad there's not anybody else out here at the river, because it makes me nervous slinging around a bunch of other people, because you could really hurt somebody if you hit somebody with one of these rocks. Trust me, I would not. I hit myself in the butt one day with a rock, and don't ask me how I did that, but it didn't feel too good. Anyway, here we go. Make sure I'm lined up here. That was pretty good. What's awesome is this is a pretty wide spot on the river. What's awesome is I can chunk them all the way to the other side of the bank. I'm gonna try one more with this sling. This one works pretty good. I like it. Okay, now I'm going to show y'all how this other one performs. Like I said, I have no idea if the rocks are actually showing up on camera right now or not. Kind of hope that they are, but if they're not, well then, hooey. As you can tell, these are some pretty good sized rocks. Now you're supposed to use smooth stones, slightly cylindrical, or like egg shaped, because they fly the best. But seeing as how this is all just gravel flint rock, I don't really have much of a choice down here, but either way it's still a lot of fun. really hope you can see that splashing on the other side of the river is pretty awesome. I have no idea what y'all are able to see. It might not be a very good view, but anyway, let's try this one now. Pretty sure this one's going to be my favorite one to throw with. And I think it's probably a lot to do with the aesthetics of it. To me, this looks primitive and awesome. I'll show you how this works. You just stick a rock in there. You make sure that the pouch is spread out enough. Sometimes you have to shift the rock to make sure it's gonna seat. And when it swings around, that momentum keeps that rock in there until you let go of this end. And sometimes if you do it real hard and just right, this end will pop like a whip. Pretty neat. That one went pretty far. This one definitely pops like a whip. I like the way it feels too. It's pretty easy to sling with. I was slinging some ice with it last night at my house, so I don't want to sling rocks around my neighborhood. This one's working pretty awesome. Let's try a big rock. Like I said before, it's got to fit in there just right. You don't want it slipping off backwards or something. I definitely don't want it slipping off backwards and hitting my car or my phone. That would suck. Anyway, let's try that. That was a pretty big rock and it flew pretty straight, so that's cool. I'm gonna try one of these flat rocks now. Now, yesterday when I was down here, when I was throwing flat rocks, sometimes when they'd hit the water, they'd skip, which is pretty awesome. But I just want it to fly, so that's all I'm worried about right now. Across the river. And again, all the way across the river. This sling is awesome. This sling is awesome. It actually pops whenever you release it. It's kind of cool. I waxed it last night. I put some bowstring wax on it because it was fraying every time I'd release it. And it seemed to help a little bit. It's still fraying, but what do you expect? It's made out of jute. So anyway, these are my hand braided slings, rock slings. What's cool about these things is you have infinite ammunition. There's rocks everywhere. I mean, you don't even have to just throw rocks. The Romans used lead bullets. They were shaped like a long spike, but they were fat in the middle, and they would sling them into their opponents, and it worked. It was pretty gruesome. They also made clay bullets, which were a little bit bigger in size, but they were pointed on the ends, and it's basically the same concept. Anyway, pretty gruesome stuff, but hey, if you're ever, this is fun. I mean, if you're somebody like me who likes to be outside, who likes to come down to the river and mess around, then you should maybe look into getting one of these. If you want me to make you one, just let me know. I'll probably just charge about, I don't know, 10 bucks for one of these jute slings, and one of the paracord ones probably more like 20 bucks because the material's more expensive. Jute's pretty cheap, but it's time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. I like doing it. So if you want me to do some for you, just let me know and I'll make you one. I'm gonna keep slinging some rocks, and I'll see y'all later.